Alright guys, serious video as you could probably tell from the thumbnail, and don't worry, I won't take up much of your time here because the last part is mainly for those of you who have been patiently waiting for an update concerning the artifact manipulation tutorials and the Ganyu God comp. Now what happened is that I realized a lot of people were asking why Huta wasn't announced in the recent live stream, so I decided to do a little bit of digging to provide an answer to that, and what I found turned out to be a little bit more serious than I expected. And I think as viewers and content creators, we should be aware of this. You see, Hutao was not announced in the live stream because MiHoYo, by law of tradition, is literally forbidden to do so. Now, in order to drive this home, I needed to fully understand why, and to do that, we need to go into the real life story of the Lantern Festival and what it symbolizes. So I'm going to give you guys a quick, short version of this, and you'll get an idea. The story behind the Lantern Light Festival has many different variations, but in a nutshell, this is what happens. It's basically about a very powerful person who got angry at humans because they killed an animal which was very dear to him. And to punish these humans, he decided to burn everything to the ground. However, someone on the inside was empathic towards the people and sought to warn them. And by doing so, they devised a plan to light lanterns across the entire area to trick this very powerful person into thinking that the whole place was already on fire. Of course, this worked, and thinking that he had his revenge, he ended up leaving. So yeah, that's a super short version, but as you can see, on the positive side of this story, we're looking at elements that reflect faith, hope, endurance, and life. And we also have a few darker elements attached to it, such as deceit, death, destruction, revenge, and a sense of impending doom. Now, to some of us, this might sound like it's just a story, but the Chinese are very serious about upholding their traditions, and personally, I respect that because that reflects discipline. So, as per tradition, for 15 days from Chinese New Year all the way down to the Lantern Festival, words such as death and ghost, along with many others, are considered highly taboo. Dressing in black is also considered taboo. And if you take a look at Hu Tao, she dresses in black and she's literally all about ghosts and death. And that is why it is utterly unacceptable for Hu Tao to be released around this highly significant time. As a matter of fact, MiHoYo may not even mention her in the slightest throughout this entire period, because regardless of where the company stands when it comes to traditional belief, there's still no way MiHoYo will play with that kind of fire. It's just really risky. So it will shock me if MiHoYo even whispers anything about Hu Tao. Now, with all this said, I'm sure you guys understand, but what does this have to do with us? Well, you see, I'd like to suggest to everyone that out of respect for the Chinese traditions, let's not talk about Hu Tao, especially any leaks about her. Of course, it'll only last the 15 days from February 12th, Chinese New Year, till February 27th after the Lantern Light Festival. And yes, I know that most of you who are watching this are not bind to the Chinese tradition in any way whatsoever, myself included, but let's face some facts. Those of you who are in the know are well aware that this game is over the top with an insane budget. From the trailers down to the live streams, the gameplay, the story, character design, the landscape, the music, the voice actors, this game is truly a masterpiece, and I don't think anyone could argue with that. And yes, I know it has its flaws that sticks out like a sore thumb, but there is no such thing as a perfect game. And for a company that went into uncharted territory and managed to hold it together this well for this long, I think they've done a great job. But like I said, the reality is that the Chinese traditions have absolutely nothing to do with most of us, so this idea is just for anyone who is interested in banding together and showing MiHoYo that we really enjoy and respect what they've done with the game so far. We can think of it as a small token of gratitude that I think will go a long way even if MiHoYo themselves don't even recognize it, but I really do think their desire is to respect their local traditions, so the least we can do is take a hint and cooperate. Of course, if you want to continue the Hu Tao hype even after learning this, then that's completely fine, but it's important to note that we have a ton of content about to drop all of them are unique in their own way, so I don't think anyone is even going to be interested in any Hu Tao talk during all that hype. Now, another thing. The reason I put the word warning in the thumbnail is because MiHoYo just might start coming down a little bit harder on the Hu Tao leaks, because I'm convinced that they do not want their community to be hyped about a unit that is all about death and ghosts around this time. And if that's not the case, then like I said, I'd be very shocked, because from a cultural standpoint, this is a very big deal. Of course, I'm well aware that the hype is currently centered strongly around Xiao, and I won't be surprised if it was actually planned to be that way. Now, speaking of Xiao, in honor of the Lantern Light Festival and Chinese New Year, for my next video, we're going to take a look at how MiHoYo took the real-life legends of the Lantern Festival and actually added it to the game itself. I'm going to tell my favorite version of the story in that video and discuss what Xiao seems to represent in all of this. You see, they've done something very beautiful that really moved me, and I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's just a coincidence. But I know that all of you that are watching this right now are gonna miss it, so subscribe and turn on notifications for when I drop. And don't worry, you can unsubscribe later after you finish watching the video. I really don't care. Please do not waste your time with my channel if it is not useful to you, because seriously, I really hate wasting people's time. But yeah, this is my way of hyping Xiao up after pretty much destroying his usefulness to me in one of my previous videos. If you're struggling between Ganyu and Xiao, trust me, that video is for you. And I had zero bias whatsoever until like the very end. Anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this. So 15 days, February 12th to February 27th, no Hu Tao talk. It's that simple. I think we could do it. Now, for those of you here for the channel updates, let's talk, cause it seems I've fallen for the don't make promises you can't keep trap. You see, I never realized that dishing out multiple videos a week would be so hard to do. So for those of you who are wondering why the Ganyu God comp isn't up yet, it's mainly because I still don't have Ganyu. You know, free-to-play struggles. They gave me the Luke instead, so now I have to prey on the soft PT. You see, it's a lot better if I have her to show during the analysis rather than just talk over it and use substitute units. But of course, the Ganyu God Comp video is coming regardless of whether I pull her or not. I can 100% do it without actually having a Ganyu, but not having her does make it a bit more tedious, and there's so much room for error if that's the case. The other reason is that I have to do support analysis videos for each unit in the comp, and I've hit a brick in the road with the Mona one because, well, let's just say that Mona is a very distracting unit to analyze and talk about. Trust me, it's not what you're thinking. When you watch that video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So definitely subscribe and turn on notifications for that, because you will not regret it. Unless you have a very innocent mind, and if so, then please do not watch that video whenever I publish it, because I can assure you that you will not be able to unsee the things I'm about to show you. Anyways, last update, probably the most important one. The artifact manipulation tutorials are still also on hold. I know I promised a while back that I'll make tutorials for the video I made about a month ago, where I showcased how I better add and hit whatever substats I want on my artifacts, but those tutorials are giving me some trouble due to how the number generator in Genshin works. I've noticed that it's kind of weird because my last session wasn't so great, which is a good thing, so I'm currently looking into this to make sure those videos are as detailed as they can be, but it is going to take some time. Of course, if you're in a hurry and you want the basic overview of how to do it, you'll have to go through the low quality 1 hour long version of what I uploaded about a month ago. Now, nothing's changed really, it's the exact same method, but in the tutorials we have a lot to discuss in details about what could go wrong and how to potentially fix it. So I do have a little bit of a better method, and it does concern writing whatever order your adds and hits came in, because that's going to be very important moving forward. So from now on, whenever you're doing your artifacts, record whatever adds you had and whatever hits you had, and keep it on a paper or something, or in a file. So yeah, whenever those videos drop, those are going to be important. So record your stuff from now. You can also ask questions in the comment section, and I'll try my best to answer them based on the data that I have right now. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. This video was really great breath of fresh air. This is, yeah, now I'm definitely gonna go. As usual, don't forget, learn the game and play the cards you're dealt.